From the moment we are born, our lives are planned out, guiding us towards a bright future. It starts with elementary middle school, where teachers introduce us to the education fundamentals. We simply absorb the information while going through the motions. Freshman year comes around, providing us with the chance to break off from the conformity and take classes that appeal to our interests. It's the first step of freedom in choosing what we want to do with our lives. Then senior year arrives, making our brains become a scattered mess with colleges ambushing our thoughts. Thankfully, by now we can all say we know what school we're going to, what career we want to have, and what our lives will be like in 10 years. But what if we don't? I, unlike what feels like every single one of my peers, have no idea what kind of life I want to pursue after high school. For the past 3 years, people have told me to not worry about it. I will eventually find my thing that will guide me to my dream career. Needless to say, after 4 years I've yet to find it. How can I be expected to look forward to college where I'll study my heart out when I don't even know what it is my heart desires? Over time, though, I have come to terms with myself that it's okay to not know exactly what or where I want to be in the future. I believe that when living your life, it isn't necessary to know where your next step is in order to succeed. It's taking it one day at a time that will lead you to a prosperous future. In Khalid Hosseini's A Thousand Splendid Suns, Layla grows up experiencing a typical childhood. Right when it seems like Layla knows exactly how she'll live her life, the war starts, Tariq's family leaves, and her parents die. She's left not knowing what will become of her future. Being forced into a toxic domestic life, Layla loses sight of a blissful future with Tariq. She was capable, however, of not allowing her impending future with Rashid and his abusive ways crush her possibilities. And with that, her and Tariq's reunion was an unlikely dream that came true. In order to slow things down and embrace the day-by-day battle, some people need to escape from their life. Jake Barnes, the protagonist in Hemingway's As Someone Else Arises, is in a turmoil relationship with Brett. He loves everything about her, yet hates being in love with her. It isn't until he takes his life one trip and vacation at a time where Jake realizes it's okay to not know where he will be romantically or emotionally in the future. He simply needs to live his life in the moment to see where it takes him. Unlike Layla and Jake Gatsby is a man who lives a rather privileged life. In F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby, Gatsby has accomplished so much, yet lusts for a relationship with Daisy again. Knowing it will be a challenge due to her being married, Jay slowly takes his time to reel himself back into Daisy's life. He cautiously took the challenge one day at a time to show Daisy what they could be. Unexpectedly, this led to Gatsby not gaining the love he thought he would, but rather a friendship with Nick. Letting the days guide his life's path, Gatsby was capable of getting something he never considered happening, and that's why his slow journey was truly successful. Contrary to Gatsby, Christopher McCandless, also known as Alexander Supertramp, chose to get away from the privileged lifestyle and into the wild by John Cracourt. Unlike his fellow classmates, after graduating college, Christopher isn't looking for a job. He's rather confused with his life, so he decides to hike an impossible trail through Alaska. On this journey, Alexander Supertramp was capable of letting go of the modern-day influences, taking his life 1 mile at a time. Even though this experience led to his final days, Alex went out there with an unclear idea of what he wanted to accomplish and came out on top by coming to terms with how he wanted his life to be. While knowing that I will be attending Drexel University next year is a huge stress reliever, I know I still have another battle waiting for me. The battle of figuring out what career I want to focus on. Thankfully, by taking Drexel's STEM Exploratory program, I will be able to sample all areas of my interest, testing them until I find the perfect fit. I believe that even though my final destination isn't clear, by taking this challenge one trial at a time, I will realize what it is I am meant to.